Hello and welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, I invite you to stick around. I'm Jeff, grumpy old gay man. My partner and I, Kevin, live here in the great Southwest and we're saving hundreds of dollars a month on food prepping. I'm going to show you how to save yourself on preparing in advance, freezing, and prepping food to save you money. We save hundreds of dollars a month at the grocery store, but with that being said, come along, join us, subscribe to my channel, like what you see, and get to know who we are. Jeff and Kevin, grumpy old gay life. Here we go.
Can't nobody tell me what I can do. Got up many aces that I
Stop the insanity. If I had hair, I'd pull it out. How do you live? How do you survive? How do you spend your money? Let's show you. So prepping starts out by spending your money wisely at the supermarket. We spent a total of $32 for what you're seeing here on the counter. And here is food that I prepped prior to this video, which we have in the freezer. And now I'm going to add to it with the food that we've done today with our shopping and show you how we do all of our prepping and save money. So if you want to be dollar wise, you have to become a prepper. You just have to. I mean, how are you going to live in a overinflated world and save money? You've got to prep, and that's what we've done. So, I have a bag sealer. So all of these items here is what I've already frozen. I've used it's called vacuum seal, and all of this has already been sealed and frozen for the month. And I just took it out of the freezer to show you that if you do a little bit of work at home, things up when it's conveniently priced. Eggs. Now, this is something else. Them little chickens must be wearing frocks around their little necks, and their little feet must have little pearl rings on them toes, because eggs are as up as $7, $8 a dozen. Not in this household. These eggs were on sale for 99 cents a dozen. So 2 weeks ago, we picked up a dozen. Pardon me, 2 dozen. So we spent $2 instead of spending $4, $5, $6, and $7 a dozen. Not happening. So it's really simple economics. Now, outside of running to the store to buy milk or coffee creamer, half and half, or whipping cream, those things you normally have to pick up on a regular basis. However, I like lactose-free milk. Now, a month ago, this was selling for $3.28. Now, today, the price is $4.99, great value at Walmart, $4.99. At the grocery store, it's $5.99, and it's a 50-cent coupon. I'm like, did I really have much trouble with milk prior to lactose-free? Not really. So, this goes on the back shelf, and we don't buy it anymore. We go back to my regular reduced milk, and this was $1.99. So for $1.99, I can get my half gallon of milk, or I can spend $4.99. There's $3 of savings right there. I lived with this long time before this came out. So save $3. Buy that no more until the price comes down. And Kevin likes whipping cream because we use it for our desserts in the evenings on, our fruits that we do. Well, this now is going for $5.99, $6.79, $8 for this size, depending on where you shop. So we switched back to half and half. We have our fruit with no cream on it. Simple as that. I ate fruit as a kid with no whipping cream. I ate fruit as an adult with no whipping cream. So am I gonna die without it? No, you compromise. Don't buy it until it comes down in price. So today, this one was on sale for $3.49. So I picked one up. We'll use it. And if it goes back on sale, we'll buy it. If it doesn't, this goes on the shelf. And we both like cheese. Cheese is another thing. If it's not on sale, we don't buy it. This is traditionally $2.97. If you go up to the store in our area, it can go as high as $4.59 for this little bag. It's on sale this week for 97 cents. They limit you to 2, so we got 2. We got our little shredded cheese here, and then we got sliced cheese for 97 cents each. We picked up 2 of them. Last week, this was on sale, and this was on sale for 97 cents. We picked up 2 of them. Now this one here, $5.39. We bought this because it was the cheaper price when these were not on sale. So we've got 5 bags of cheese. Does any cheese when it's on sale? Now let's talk meats. This pack of meat here is normally $16.98 for this pack, is what they tell you. Now, please use your little shopping coupons. Sometimes when this comes in the mail, a lot of people, they just like toss it to the side. I was one of those until we started living in this inflated market. So we look at this and we then circle what we want. We have 2 different stores we go to. With that being said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nice boneless chicken breasts in here. One big chicken breast is really a lot for Kevin and I. So we take 1 and cut another 1 in half. So we have 1.5 chicken breast per meal. If we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that gives us what? 1, 2, 3 dinners. And it was on sale today on a digital coupon for 97 cents. So we got this entire pack for $4.16. Originally, it was 17. So we took advantage of that and we bought 2. The reason for that, I'm gonna put them in my seal bag and they're gonna go in the freezer. We make a lot of soups. Sausages. Now these were on sale for 97 cents. They're traditionally $5, $6 each. You have 4 sausages, 5. So they're out, normally about $1.25 each, 97 cents. So we picked up 2 packs. The reason for that, I like to make what I call potato fun stuff. Do you know that you can cut up an onion, dice it, slice it, whatever you want to do, and seal this also in a freezer seal lock bag, and it'll save and you can cook with them. Tomatoes, you can do the same if you want to. If you cook with tomatoes, slice these up, freeze them in the freezer. You can cook with them whenever you feel like cooking. If you eat them, just make sure you eat them up before they rot. But these were on sale. The onion was, I think this was today, 39 cents for the onions. So we picked one up. Now I'm gonna get to the fun stuff, corn. 8 ears for $1. What we've already done and what I'll continue to do with these 8 ears, I'm gonna go ahead and cook them today, and then I cut them off the cob and we freeze them in freeze lock bags because we can make 1 ear of corn for Kevin and I, works out great. So I can get 8 meals of corn for $1. Divide 8 by $1, how much is that, folks? You're talking what? So you're looking at 13 cents for an ear of corn to eat a nice meal. So that's what we do with corn. We do the same thing with potatoes. This bag of potatoes here is normally $5.99. Today, on sale for 97 cents. So we picked up 5 pounds. Do we eat 5 pounds of potatoes at a time? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and pre-cook these and then seal them and freeze them. And I'll show you that, what I do. So my point of this video is this. If you wanna save money, but you've gotta be diligent about it. So for the month of June, our total grocery bill would have been, I've got it all figured out here for you. Today we spent, for everything you see here, and let me show it to you on the table. Everything you see here on this counter, including that watermelon over there in that bowl, everything here on the counter and there, we spent between 2 stores, I have it written down here, we spent $30.68. And I'm gonna get lots of meals out of these because I'm gonna prep it and I'm gonna freeze it. So you gotta become a prepper, is what you have to do. So for the month of June, our total grocery bill, I've got it written down here, 324, 364 is 8, 678, $688 would have been our bill for the month of June. However, because we go and we buy only when it's on sale and we prep, so we have lots of food in the freezer, We spent a total for the month of June, including the dairy, $324. Now, that's $365 in savings for the month of June. That's how you shop. A lot of people spend that much just going out to dinner 2 or 3 times a week. Isn't that nuts? Don't do it. And I'm not going to get into anything political, but people are just crazy saying that inflation is because of politics. You couldn't be more wrong. It's because of corporate greed. Let's be true about that. It's corporate greed is what's driving inflation. They say it's demand and product production and the cost of labor and the cost of produce. How much does it cost you more to produce a tomato today than it cost you 2 days ago or a month ago? They're saying labor. Okay, people have to have an honest wage to live. You can't afford to live on what they're being paid, so people are making more money. Of course, it's going to be reflected in the price of food. But when you take a tomato and you have the audacity to charge 70, 80 cents a tomato or $2.99 a pound for tomatoes, that's nuts. When they can put it on sale like they do for $1.29 a pound, that is what, 60 cents off? I know it's an encouragement to get people in to shop, but my point is this, it's corporate greed, it's inflation. Take a look at what your CEOs are being paid at these corporations. Take a look at the stock market on how high it is and how stock has risen. It's all pushed by corporate greed. So with that being said, I'm gonna get all this prep and show you how I do that. So let's get to prepping. This is honestly gonna take me a couple of hours, but is it worth it to me to save that money? Absolutely. I'm retired, what else have I got to do? So you say, well, I work all day. Well, guess what? Everyone works. They've all got a job to do. If you wanna save money, you've got to also participate in that part of work. You have children at home, let them do something other than sit on their phones or their tablets or in front of a TV set or playing some type of video game. Have them shuck corn, take the husk off. I did it as a kid. First take off the shuck, break it in half, put it in a pan. "10 minutes. And that, of course, will go in the refrigerator. The watermelon, as you know, you can't freeze. You have to eat it. Watermelons are really a nice anytime snack, aren't they? Chill this, they're wonderful. Now I've got lots of little potatoes here. I use those often for soup and for dinner with searing them. But these I'm gonna go ahead and use this time for soup. So I'm just gonna get them pre-cut into pieces. And what I'm going to do is they also are gonna go in the freezer after I boiled them a bit. And then they also will get soup potatoes. So I'm going to slice these into bite sizes and thinner sliced that way, like a little waffle, if you will. So those are going to get cut this way. And again, you've got to prep if you want to save money and have dinner preparation halfway started so that when you do cook your dinners, half the battle. Think of it like fast food. You go into fast food restaurants, you go into drive-through and you get your food. They prepped it for you and took your money. Here, I'm gonna save you money and you're gonna prep it in advance so when it comes time to cook, the job's almost complete. So what I'm gonna do with these, I'll show you. In the meantime, my corn is done. So let me get that turned off. And we're gonna let that cool. These in the water. And I'm just going to let those cook again for about 5-6 minutes. So what I've done is I've turned on my air fryer and I'm going to sear these in the air fryer. Searing them allows them to cook, to get them kind of like baking them in the oven. It just happens quicker. So I'm going to sear these, spice, already done. It's just a matter of warming them up. And you can warm them up again in a warm cycle in your air fryer, or you can put them in the oven, whatever you choose to do. We always warm up in the air fryer because it doesn't heat the kitchen up and it goes much quicker than doing it in the oven. So I've melted some butter, and again, I always use real butter. I do not use margarine. Can't believe it's not butter, because as I've said before, you can't believe it's not butter because it's not butter, it's chemicals. So let's get the butter on there. So we've got butter on those, and I like Lowry seasoning, so we're gonna sprinkle some Lowry's. Another thing I like is lemon pepper. We use lemon pepper quite a bit. It gives everything a nice little snap. Air fryer on temperature to warm it up. And I'm gonna slide these in. It's been warming up now for 6 minutes. I'm gonna slide these potatoes in and then turn it back on and let those go for another. So the potatoes have boiled now for 5 minutes. We're gonna drain them and let them cool off, and then I'll get those frozen as well. Done. It's cooled off, so now I'm gonna get it off the cob so I can freeze it. Now, if you choose to freeze it on the cob, you can do so if you'd like. We choose to take it off the cob to freeze it. One, I think I get a better seal. Two, it's easy to warm up. The baggies to freeze. Just that simple, cut it right off that cob. So the corn is almost completely cut off the cob. I have one little piece to go. It's been about 6 minutes since I started doing this. And in the meantime, I was checking on the air fryer, and it's been 6 minutes over there as well. And we've got 3 more minutes, and those potatoes are ready to take out. So now the corn's cut, prepped, ready to be put into bags. So the air fryer is complete and the potatoes are done. Let's see what we got going on. Very nice. Very, very nice. Now, look how lovely these are. Those are all done. They've got a nice little brown to them, not a lot, because I'm going to finish cooking them on the day that we eat. So let's get these on a plate to cool. And those two will go into bags and get frozen, and therefore we have them ready for dinner. So the next item we're going to get diced up are the tomatoes. And I'm going to freeze these as well because I cook with tomatoes lots of times in soups or meat dishes. So let's get these cut up as well. So I'm gonna put 2 tomatoes in each bag, which gives me 2 opportunities to cook with them without them sitting in the refrigerator. Now, it may appear to you that this has taken quite some time, and quite some time depends on time for you. I've been at it only about 45 minutes total from the time I started prepping the corn, taking it off the husk, to all the other items you saw me prep. The next item on the chopping block is onion. And this is a nice big yellow onion. Very nice. All right, and let's get that in a bowl. And I think we're ready to bag. We've got moist food, and it's going to be normal, and we're going to seal that. So we're going to cut our bags, and first seal up one side, which will seal the bottom of the bag. Come on. It's got to heat up, I guess. And this side is now sealed. So we're going to start with potatoes. Those are pretty simple. So I'm going to put in the bag an amount for one dinner serving. So in the bag they go. There we are. That's enough for Kevin and I for one dinner. So we're going to put it back in the machine, the sealer. And this time we're going to do what's called vacuum and seal it. So we press it down, hit back seal, it'll suck the air out, pull out any moisture. Seal the bag, and we're ready to freeze. Look how nicely that seals that. So let me get these done. The next item we're going to seal are the diced potatoes, which I will use for soups. There we go. And I don't do huge portions because it's just Kevin and I. You can see how that vacuums that nicely, sucks the air out. Vacuums it out. When it's all done, it shuts off. And lots of things I like about seal vacuuming, but the most important part for me is that by taking the vacuum and sealing the bag and taking air out, you do not get freezer burnt. And we just finished 2 bags of vacuum seal on the onions. So we just finished up with 2 bags of tomatoes. So now let's do the corn. Look at this huge bowl of corn. Could that not feed a family or feed yourself for quite some time? That was 8 ears of corn is all that was. So let's get that. Now folks, you buy yourself those seal bags of frozen vegetables at the grocery store, and that's about what's in those size-wise for the microwave. Save yourself some money. Well, I make my size of servings this big. I mean, ask yourself, it's Kevin and I. If we have some potatoes, some corn, and a piece of meat for dinner, or I make a soup and I put some vegetables in it, this is plenty for 2 of us. So I have finished up with the corn. Dump the moisture out. We've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meals. The meat's the first thing I'll do is I'll get the sausage bagged up and frozen. Good. Now, if you don't have a seal back at home, you can always use freezer bags and squeeze the air out as much as possible before sealing those up. And that also works just fine. So all of the link sausages are done, and we were able to get 5 packs. So with that being done, let's move on to the chicken. The chicken breasts are pretty thick. Again, they were at 97 cents a pound. Those are huge and they're thick. So what the nice thing about chicken breasts this large is one of these is truly large enough for Kevin and I to share for dinner. And in each pack we have 6. So there's 12 pieces of chicken or 12 dinners. Let's get those sealed. Take a look at the size of these chicken breasts. They're huge. So that's why I say one breast is big enough for Kevin and I. I have all 12 bags of chicken here. All I have to do is sew up the other end. So let's do it. And we are done with the meats. One last thing to do.
Well, I don't know what happened to the sound on this particular video clip. However, what I'm doing is I'm using my food processor, and with the remaining potatoes, I'm going to make hash browns and freeze them all in the freezer as well.
Keep it. With hash browns, I am going to add a little salt. The reason is because salt works as a good preservative, and I don't want the hash browns, although we're going to seal back them, I don't want them to get black or brown while they're in the freezer. So we're going to add a little bit of salt, and let's get this baby turned on. There we go. So it's been 2 hours since I started prepping when you saw me unload from the grocery store. And I now have, as you can see, the freezer completely full. What's nice about it, with everything that's in there, and you can see there's a lot. Every drawer.
So I thank you for staying with me this long for this video. I know it's a bit long, but I did want to show the importance of prepping and how simple it can be and how much money you truly can save by doing so. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell for notifications so you'll know when I'm posting again, and come along. So again, thank you so very